This is Eagle Owl. This is another reaction. Seen this on my YouTube feed. Talked about how accountants broke the league, and they had Howie Roseman and Jalen Hurts as the thumbnail. Thought this would be interesting because the big talk around the Eagles is that, you know, those voided years and how the Eagles are going to pay for all of this and what's going to happen in Philly. It's going to all collapse. But Brett Coleman, I believe I'm saying this name right. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He broke it down perfectly. I seen some of it and I'm like, I got to pause it. I'm going to react to this, put it on my channel. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can watch without my commentary. But yeah, we're going to watch this. He's going to explain how the Eagles can keep this ball rolling.
Atlanta for how they handled the Mahomes and Vic extensions, and the philosophy of the Eagles for how they handled the Hurts extension is that KC and Atlanta spread the pain out by just doing 10-year bonuses and high salaries that could be converted into signing bonuses that get prorated, and they needed room on the back end of the deal to do all of that and keep the cap hits manageable. Nearly 20 years ago, the Falcons tried to do a similar thing with Michael Vick when he signed a 10-year deal, which then got cut short for obvious reasons, but the principle was the same. Really, the only major difference between the philosophies of both KC and Atlanta for how they handled the Mahomes and Vic extensions and the philosophy of the Eagles for how they handled the Hurts extension is that KC and Atlanta spread the pain out by just doing 10-year contracts of real years, while Philly spread the pain out by doing a normal contract and then just tacking a shitload of void years on the back end. They both created large surface areas, they just did it a different way. Though, I guess if we're being honest, the Eagles are very different than the rest of the league for a particular reason, and that particular reason is a rabbit hole that I didn't expect this episode to go down when I started writing it, but we also kind of have to go down that rabbit hole together in order for you to understand everything else I'm about to talk about. So forgive me. The short version of this, the Eagles are insane. And the long version is, the Eagles are still insane, and also here's a 6-minute explanation for how. Somewhere along the line here, Jeffery Lurie and Howie Roseman fully bought into the shenanigans that the Saints pioneered, and they started doing this void year heavy style of contract for everybody, not just Jalen Hurts. Like, if you look at all of the Eagles' top contracts, they all have 3 or even 4 void years on the back end. They don't just do it for quarterbacks. So basically, none of their top players ever have cap hits that reflect the top of the market, even though all of their real cash.
And that's the big talk between everybody. It's like, yo, all these guys got voided years. And when you look at other teams, they usually do it for the quarterback. They don't do it for the linebacker. They don't do it for the running back. They don't do it for the receivers. They don't do it for any other position besides the quarterback, because the quarterback eats so much money. Like, the quarterback could get $50 million a year. Maybe you got a wide receiver getting 25, 30, 32. But the quarterback money takes so much cap space. It's like, how the hell are you going to pay them and have a good cap and have a good team? So what the teams do is the voided years. To me, and I think he's going to go deeper into it, to me, the difference between us and them is that we did it for Jalen Hurts, but we do it for everybody else. Again, I think he's going to break it down more, but let's finish watching the video.
Into their bank accounts are at the top of the market. And conveniently, most of their cap maneuvering all happens to be sunsetting at around the exact same time. And again, that is for a very particular reason. Jalen's last real year is 2028 before all these void years slam home with a combined $97.5 million dead cap hit in 2029. And remember, just because a cap hit is thrown into a group of void years, that doesn't mean that the hit doesn't exist. It just means that all of the spread out hits slam home together at once as soon as that first void year triggers. So that's why the 2029 cap hit is so high, but it's not just Hurts that hits in that year. Landon Dickerson, also in 2029, has a $35 million dead cap hit from all of his void years slamming home. Lane Johnson, that same year, has a $30 million dead cap hit, also from his void years. Jordan Mailata, same thing, 2029, $35.7 million dead cap hit. Devonta Smith, 2029, $35.8 million dead cap hit. Saquon, again, 2029, $32.5 million dead cap hit. Even Jake Elliott, the fucking kicker, $8.6 million dead cap hit in, you guessed it, 2029. At least Zach Bond's different. He has a $24.8 million dead cap hit by 2028 when all of his void years slam home. And then
The big question is, what the hell is about to happen in 2029? Why we have all these voided cap years in 2029? Something's going to happen that year. Maybe it's some type of negotiation. Maybe Jeffrey Lurie really expects like the cap to go up, or like it's more of he sold part of the team, right? Remember, he sold like 8% of the team. He gonna get a couple billy. He gonna get that, and then he probably pay all these dudes out, because the more you win, the value of your team goes up. So he's like, look, I will take this hit because my net worth is going to keep going up the more the Eagles win. It's going to go up, and I'm be able to pay these guys. That's why when you say, if you go on Ticketmaster right now, if you try to get an Eagles versus Cowboys ticket up front, it costs an insane amount of money, is because the Eagles are winning. Whereas though if you go to like a Giants versus Browns, they tickets to sit in the front row is probably like $30, $40 because they losing. And I won't say the value of the team's going down, but it's not increasing because those teams not getting better. So Howie and Jeffrey Lurie, they willing to take these hits. They willing to take this. Look at this. This is insane amount of money. All this stuff is coming up. 2029. I see 2028. But I'm going to let him finish the video. But I'm pretty sure he's probably going to go into that. The value of the team is going up. Or maybe some big negotiation. Or maybe some contracts in with some TV execs. Or some type of cable channels. Whereas though Howie and Jeffrey Lurie expect some type of deal to be reworked, and they expect the cap to go up. Whereas though when they start paying out these dead cap hits, they expect like, okay, the revenue of the league is going to increase. Because what happened, and another team that did and worked like this before was the Saints. The Saints got bit working like this, and nobody expected this to happen, but it was COVID. Remember, COVID year 2020, we lost money. I seen that part when he talked about that. The league lost money. I said we lost money like I'm a part of the league. But the league lost money, and what happened was when the league lost money and they was doing all these dead cap hits, Saints found themselves in cap hell for years. They finally got out of it, but what Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman saying, like, I don't see nothing like that coming down the pipeline. I see more revenue coming in, especially us working with like Peacock, Netflix, and all these type of deals. Money's going to go up. I sold part of the team. These dead cap hits ain't going to mean nothing, especially if we keep winning like NFC Championship games and Super Bowls and stuff like that. But I'm going to let the video play.
Finally, both A.J. Brown and Cam Jurgens have a $53 million dead cap hit and a $28.7 million dead cap hit, respectively, in 2030. All told, it's around $381.6 million in void years slamming home, all between 2028 and 2030. Even the Eagles could not eat that much dead cap in such a short time period. Like, it's not even remotely possible. But here's the twist. They're not going to. If all goes to plan, most of these deals are likely going to be extended again with short-term real years that have a ton of void years on the back end, just like that famous 2016 Drew Brees deal. And that's going to be done to ease the pain and give the franchise's cap situation a soft landing into 2030 and beyond. I cannot possibly emphasize this enough, but that year is everything. Like, not just for the Eagles, but for everybody. The Eagles' entire cap management strategy today, and I would argue a lot of other teams' entire cap management strategy today, is built around all of their plans for 2030. And that is not an accident, because you know what happens after the 2029 season? The NFL gets to exercise their opt-out clause for the media rights distribution deal.
I was 1000% on it, and I told you I did not watch this full video. I watched some of it because I wanted my raw reaction. It's going to be a new deal with the media. 2030. That makes sense. 2029, 2030. Again, you could extend these guys, stretch it out, Pause. Or if it comes to that, the cap is going to go up. If we're making a new deal with like CBS, Fox, those Netflix deals, those Peacock deals, who else? We probably going to work with more streaming services. I'm saying we again. I'm not a part of the NFL, but you get my point. If all of this is going down, the Eagles not going anywhere. We not going anywhere. You can see Jordan Mailata getting extended. Jalen Hurts is going to get extended. Those dead cap hits ain't going to hit like that unless some get reworked around the time. You know, what's his name? Roger Goodell been putting stuff out there. We don't address this cap situation thing where as though it could be fair, then we can get in a little trouble. But if it stay the same, again, Jalen Hurts extension. You probably going to see another Jordan Mailata extension. Some of those guys, Landon Dickerson extension. That's going to ease the pain. It's going to be more voided years on the back end. And then if we get hit with a couple of those, we had the money because the cap is going to go up. But let me go ahead and play more of the video.
Meaning CBS, Fox, NBC, all those deals go away. Everybody has to go back to the table and renegotiate for 2030 and beyond. And, you know, kind of side tangent here, because Nielsen recently adjusted how they calculate their ratings, across the board, I'm talking across the entire industry, every genre of TV, ratings are up 5 to 40%. Not because more people are watching, but more so because more people are getting accurately counted by Nielsen. So everybody's ratings have skyrocketed, including the NFL. So we're pretty sure this new deal that gets negotiated for 2030 is going to be worth, as one esteemed economist put it recently, a metric fuckload. Over the last 3 media rights distribution deals, the average first-year jump in cap space in the new deal is 13.6%. And the largest cap growth we ever saw was a 19.3% year-over-year growth. The cap right now is $279.2 million, but the 2030 cap could possibly be between $430 and $450 million. And the Eagles know this. Their owner, Jeffery Lurie, comes from a film and television production background. He is well aware, more than most, of what is coming down the pipe in these rights negotiations. So as far as what the cap hits are projected to be and what the dead money hits are projected to be based on when all these void years are slamming home, I don't really think the Eagles care. Like, I honestly don't think they care at all. Lurie sold an 8% stake in the team just last year to raise $660 million in liquid capital to...
What did I say? Him selling 8%, getting all that money, he'll be fine. He'll be able to pay these guys. He sold 8% for $8.3 billion. $8.3 billion. We're going to be good. So don't let these Cowboys fans or any of these guys scare you. That dead cap hit going to hit. Bro, like, I own a rich, like super rich. We'll be fine, especially if we keep winning.
All of these contracts. Most owners cannot do this. Like, they can't even dream of it. Even Lurie himself couldn't dream of it before he sold a stake in the team because he needed all of that liquidity. And as far as his net worth and, you know, his equity in the team, and if he, you know, lost money doing this because he's giving all of his money to the players, here's a fun little dirty secret from the world of the ultra wealthy. Every dime that Lurie has spent building the super team, he's already made back. The Eagles today, after winning the Super Bowl, are more valuable than they were a year ago, to the point where 92% of the Eagles right now is worth more than 100% of the Eagles right before he sold his stake. So his net worth has actually gone up. He basically just got a whole bunch of free money to build a super team and win a Super Bowl, and he's still just as rich, if not richer. Like, this whole scheme is brilliant, because on paper, there's kind of not really a downside. Spend money, win games, make even more money, and then just do it all over again. And when you look around the NFL, every single team has paid attention to what Philly has done here. A lot of them are going to try to replicate it. Some of them might try to get it banned if they don't have the liquidity to do it, and they also don't want to sell a stake in their team. And I think there's a couple franchises that qualify for that description. But I don't know what the league is going to do. Like, maybe they'll let teams keep doing it. Maybe they'll ban it. I have no idea. All I really know is this. For now, in the modern NFL, the salary cap is only as real as you allow it to be.
great video, man. One of my things, I love numbers. I love football. Those are my two things. It's like finance. It's like my mother. I say football is like my daughter. You love them. You love them both. But you love them like in different ways. I don't know how to explain. You just love them both. And I really love numbers, man. I really, really do. So this thing is my thing. That's how I knew I was on it. Jeffery Lurie selling his stake. That makes sense. Pushing it, the dead cat back and back and back. One of the things I will say, the only way we can get rid of this, he said it best, if other teams get jealous. Like, I can't sell 8% of my team. I won't do it. So let's just get rid of how we're doing the salary cap in general. You can see that happening, but Howie Roseman, Jeffery Lurie, their team is really smart, so they found some wiggle room or some way around it and continue to be successful. Just continue to be successful, man. Yeah, I had a reaction video for y'all. Again, shout out to Brett Coleman. I believe I'm saying his name right. Please don't get on me if you come across this video, man. But again, I'm going to put the link in the description. If you want to watch it without my commentary, I advise you to watch the whole thing. See, I stopped right there because I know he's going to go into the Philadelphia Eagles, but he talked about the Saints in the beginning. He talked about the Colts, and he talked about how this has been happening for years. And right now, the Eagles are doing it, and the Eagles are successful at it. But we see if we could keep it up, man. We got a Super Bowl out of it. We lost the Super Bowl, but let's see if this success can continue. Us paying the top guys, pushing these, dead caps and all that back. And it's crazy because he talked about Jalen Hurts and how Jalen Hurts is basically being paid in bonuses. Like, it's insane. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think of how do you feel? Look, man, this was a great one. This was a great one, man. Long reaction video. I had to get this one out again and again and again. Got to show proper respect to the content creator. So I'm going to put the link in the description. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.